Hi guys, Bennett here. I thought I would do a quick review of my last on-stream game in DLC Bologna. I got the chance to play on-stream again in around 6 this time. In Bochum I played on-stream too. Spoiler alert, lost in both on-stream matches against Bucky, against Green Steel. This time around I feel like it's a good opportunity to talk a bit about my thoughts behind some lines I took, about the deck I brought in general. It was Lemon Lime Sing Together, and also a bit about how I approach some things in the Lorcana challenges. Let's just jump right in here. I'm still in Italy right now doing a little vacation, so the setup is really minimal. I think it will be an unedited video. And I think that you can't hear the sound of the video. I hope that does not bother you. Let's jump right into that. That's Leo, my opponent. Really nice guy. Was lucky to play against him. Let's go into it. As the video shows, I lost the die roll, unfortunately, because with my deck I brought, I wanted to win the die roll and start off the match going first, because I feel like Lemon Lime has a lot of clear play patterns in the first 3 to 5 turns. You can always try to look to keep in the starting hand, starting a blind mulligan is easier then. I'm gonna quickly stop here. Going second here, and not knowing what my opponent is playing, I don't know if we get a chance. I see a bit of my hand. I can maybe talk a bit about it. I see a Prince John, double sudden chill. But to be honest, it's really blurry. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and skip it. The first mulligan is not easy to talk about because we can't see. But in general, going blind on the play, on the draw, with the deck I'm playing, I want to have a few reactive cards. I also, if I have the chance, because there are some matchups in which it's still good to have them on the draw, keep my early pressure cards or setup cards rather, like Prince John or Diablo. So unfortunately I can't really talk about a mulligan here. But what we can see, that's a good vision of my hand. It's Ariel, Diablo, and Diablo Small, Prince John, Kida, Ursula, and I think that's a Sunchill behind it. So what directly comes to mind, I'm really happy having the Diablo with the spelling combination, and also potentially combining it with Ursula to snipe a song that could kill my Diablo here. So generally I'm really happy with this hand. Would be a bit better to be on the play, but let's see what Leo's first turn is. We see a bit of his hand. I won't go into detail here because that's something I was not seeing in the game. He starts off with no 1-drop, which I do like to see. I saw the Bruno, so I was pretty sure he is on Green Steel. Right now I know he's on Green Steel. I was not really happy seeing that because that's one of the worst matchup. Because generally we land 1-1 while he has a higher chance to 2-0 us than we have 2-0ing him. Seeing this hand is a tiny bit upsetting because, as I said, I want to use the Ursula to snipe a potential song to keep my Diablo safe. Seeing the Bamboom here and not having Bare Necessities, which is a really nice feature of the deck I'm playing to prevent the Diablo getting shot by that. Surviving, because Diablo and Prince John are 2 cards that are really necessary to get down in the early game and get some draws off in the early game, because my deck is so combo heavy, so synergetic, that I want to have as much cards in the mid game as possible to actually make it work. I see a song which I have not getting inked, which I have not seen with the mini Diablo, so I know what my opponent drew. He plays the Bucky, which I anticipated. And I can already think that in case I don't play my Diablo, he will play his own Diablo on 3. That should be his best play. This I do want to want to play around. I want to pressure him into playing the Baboon here. So already knowing that I want to play the Diablo, this means I will delay one turn of him actually bringing the Diablo to the board and taking tempo out of his game, because on turn 3 he has to use 2 ink instead of the full 3, which is suboptimal. Still thinking about what I want to pair the Diablo with. Best case scenario would, as I said, be the bare necessities to snipe the Baboon, or actually the Hidden Cove in my deck to play around the Baboon as well. Yeah, I know he has Diablo, and I know he has no songs in hand, so playing his over Ursula is a really clear play here. Shifting the Diablo and questing for 1, and actually get a card of Diablo. So yeah, passing the turn, I'm just gonna skip around a bit. As I said, he has no other choice than using the Baboon here, because in case he actually plays his Diablo, even though I discard a hand card, I get 1 more draw of my Diablo, and maybe even disturbing or giving, for example, back his Diablo to hand to get a tempo swing, etc. So Leo has to do this here. I'm on 3 ink and have a lot of time in the game, so I'm playing the Prince John here rather than the Ariel, because he's a nice setup card once he's on board. It's really hard for my opponents to deal with it. I know Leo has, or not in this moment, but after the game I know Leo has a Grab Your Sword, and it should be the only way of removing him. So it's really nice to have him on board and turn my 1-for-1 cards, like Sudden Chill, it discards a card, and I lose my own card, so it's a 1-for-1 card, suddenly turns into a +1 card for me. Really, really nice. Can quested with my Hiss as well. And yeah, as expected, I knew this would happen. Leo plays his Diablo, and I discard the Prince John, because I have already 1 on board. The second one would be just too much, would be too slow as well. I actually don't even have, I think, besides the Ursula, a discard card in hand. And also John is uninkable, which you always want to look first when you have to discard a card, because you either play it or leave it in your hand, but it has no use otherwise, and like this it actually gets a good use. So the Diablo is on board. I know there's a second Diablo, so right now I'm pretty chill. Now there's a line that's probably not correct, but I want to still talk about it and show my thought process behind it. I am scared that he maybe drew a song and is able to kill off my Hiss. And I need the Hiss to kill off his Diablo, so he doesn't get too many cards off him. Me with a discard deck in general wants to keep the hand size of the opponent low, and also genuinely want to limit his choices against me. And since he has a Bucky on board, I also want to limit that he draws too many Floodborns. So yeah, not inking this turn, because I realize if I start to ink now, Bucky can just, I think I'm at 2 hand cards right now, if I'm not mistaken, and that would mean I would go down to just, to actually 0 if I ink this turn, and I don't need to go above the 3, because I have the Ariel planned for next turn. At least I thought so, because Leo there played the second Bucky and was able to get rid of my whole hand. And now the Ursula plan was really bad, because Ariel would have given me another card, even though no matter what card it would be, it would have given me the opportunity to leave 1 card in hand for either ink or to actually play next turn. Now I'm instantly in top deck mode, turn 3. I don't like to see that. Leo is questing with his Diablo. He doesn't want to kill my Hiss because he wants to get the hand card. Right now I am sweating a bit. I definitely need some good top decks here to come back into the game. Definitely regretting not playing the Ariel, especially because the Ursula didn't hit. But that in perspective, I'm pretty sure that was the wrong line, because just an Under the Sea, for example, with the Prince John, who is protected through ward, the Ariel has 3 health, which is hard to come around. He exactly needs Zeus or strength of the fire, I don't know, the strength to kill it. And in case I would have gotten an Under the Sea, I'm pretty sure it's not in the next 5 cards, but in case I can just win the game playing this here. And now I'm in a really bad spot. Still, obviously, playing the game, because I generally have the attitude of not giving up, even though my percentages are pretty low. I drew a Kida, really unuseful. I at least can inker. It's not an uninkable I can't play. I can go 1 ink up to, for example, draw into You Have Forgotten Me, which would give me 2 new hand cards, but with the 2 Buckies on board, I think the only out I right now have is somehow getting into the getting Under the Sea into my hand, clearing the board, and maybe go from there. But now his Diablo is uncontested as well, because I don't have a target to remove him, or a character to remove, and no action to remove him. I'm not sure what I drew here. Let me see, it's Painting the Roses red, just to draw a card my opponent can draw with me. And I purposefully sang the song instead of just playing it, even though I'm on 4 ink, because, for example, if I would draw a 4-drop right now, this would mean I wouldn't have been able to play it. And that's why I sing with the Ursula, even though she's an easy target for his characters if he decides to kill off the Ursula. I'm not sure. I think I drew I drew a second Ursula. I at least get to discard 1 card. I don't know. I think I decided not to draw here, because the draw would have ultimately been discarded as well. I have 2 ink open, but I ultimately decide not. Oh, I actually do. My bad. I actually do. Yeah, I think I realize. Yeah, my bad. I realize I have to play risky here. I'm already so far behind. So just getting to the 5 ink, which is like the point with this deck where you need to be to play all your cards, is a good decision. But yeah, in this moment, it's more like playing out the game to maybe see a spicy card Leo plays in his deck as an information I can use in the next game. And I think I'm gonna fast forward here, because Leo probably also knows in this situation that he's pretty much through with this game. He has a lot of different good cards in hand. He can pretty much close out the game with the Flynn Rider, because I have no hand cards. He decides to draw another card, like playing it completely safe, which is absolutely right in the situation. Can play the Flynn Rider. I think he adds the Cove as well, and will also draw another card with Diablo. And yeah, let me see. I think that's a turn where I said I would never surrender to maybe gain information, but in this specific scenario, let me see, I think that's the turn I scoop. Yeah, it's a turn I scoop. Yeah, because I draw the Hidden Cove, one of my spicy cards, which I don't want to give up. I don't want to show him the card, because it can be a nice surprise factor. For example, with the Diablo trait, his Diablo dies, mine survives without him knowing that, potentially. And that was the reason for me to just give up, even though Leo wouldn't have had lethal next turn, and I would have had another turn to maybe see a card. But yeah, in this case, because it's either ink the Cove, play the Cove, or next turn discard through Bucky, so either way he would have seen the Cove. And we go into the next one. I'm probably a bit sad inside, but you will see that I am still smiling. That's one of my approaches to play the game, kind of like a poker face, but smiling poker face, I would say. So to always also have a friendly vibe and a nice vibe into the game, because it's nicer if you're laughing with your opponent than than something else. Here right now, shuffling up the deck, I needed to learn how to shuffle like properly, because the deck I'm playing is so can be so clunked up sometimes because of the aerial, searching for songs, stuff like this. And yeah, there we are with 31 points. Yeah, people might know in this situation, as it's shown, I was at 4 wins, 1 draw. I won the first 4 rounds. Usually like a pretty safe shot for day 2. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me, because after going for 0 against good matchups, I played a lot of Bucky, and I think, yeah, in all those games, couldn't have done something completely differently. I needed a 2-0, and those were all matchups which are very hard to 2-0. I think it was 4 Bucky and 1 green purple tempo. Also very bad matchup for me. But let's jump into game 2. I think I am able to see the mulligan here. Let's just see if we can clock a few cards. So I have Under the Sea, I have You Have Forgotten Me, Penteros Red. I have, I think, a Cricky. It is a Bare Necessities. I think there's a Hidden Cove as well, and I can't see the last card here, but I ultimately decide to throw away everything. I'm sure that there are cards that are useful in this matchup, that are also potentially useful in other combinations in the first few turns, but my approach is I lost the first one. I'm in a good spot in the tournament overall. I am allowed to also lose this one. And instead of playing like solid and keeping 1, 2, 3 cards that could help in a matchup, I'm going all in, risking it for a potentially high roll hand to take the win, to take the draw here in the match against Leo. And let's see together if that worked out or not, the 7 cards. So cards I want to see on the play is obviously Diablo, so both birds and the spell to discard. As I said, the Cove and Bare Necessities are really, really nice to stop my opponent from actually killing the green bird and giving me the hand cards I need to get a better working engine, I think is the right word. So let's together look into our hands. Some fun fact. When I mulligan, I, for example, give away 4. I take them out. Then I take 4 new ones, but I leave them on the table, and I first shuffle. I don't know why I do this, but it's always, and so I pick up the cards after shuffling, getting ready to my first turn, and seeing the hand I'm given for the first time. Okay, so let's take a look. We have 2 big Diablos, which is just 1 would be better, but 2 is definitely fine because it's one of our best cards. We have Penteros Red. We have Sudden Chill, Bruno. I think there's an Ursula. No, that's a Strike a Good Match, yeah, and that's a Hidden Cove as well. And now that's the first decision of this game. Usually you see a 1-drop or a card that costs 1 and you want to play it on 1. Oh yeah, that's a good look. Nice, it looks so crispy. I love the colors in there. I love that the green cards also have the green elements in there. Same for the, yeah, whatever. I ultimately decide not to play the Cove here, because Leo still doesn't know I play this card, so I want to keep it as a surprise factor as well. I right now don't have a good use of the Cove anyway. I would just stay there and offer him to kill the Cove ultimately. So yeah, let's see what I am doing. I already inked a Bruno, which is too far away for me to play now, so I rather just ink it directly. I can use all the other cards a bit earlier. And yeah, I decide not to play the Cove here. And all this work I did to hide the Cove, it's the Hidden Cove for a reason, gone with his turn 1 play, because he inks, yeah, something. He inks a Robin Hood and plays a Diablo on 1, so he gets to see my hand, and he gets to see the cove as well. He's probably not that mad about what he's seeing here. For me here, a 1-drop Diablo, anyways, would have been so good on turn 1. Yeah, and he passes turn. And I luckily have a really good draw. Probably having an Ursula here would be also really good to potentially snipe a song. For example, from preventing him to shift his Diablo, because that's my biggest concern right now. For me as a discard deck, it's an horror to have him on Diablo, drawing him cards while I try to discard cards and giving him resources in general. Play my Diablo first, take a look at what I am seeing. Also, small thing, before inking, I want to see the hand, so I'm using the one ink I have, even though I obviously want to ink on turn 2, and maybe base off my ink decision of the cards I'm seeing in his hand. So I see Buck here, I see Diablo and the spell and the cove. I'm definitely not happy seeing these cards here, but now I have some information I can work with, at least. I have the hidden cove also, and I also have Painting the Roses red, which reduces the attack of Diablo or of any character to -1, which would allow me, if both Diablos are in the cove, to trade his Diablo and my Diablo would survive. So I'm playing the curve right now. It kind of paid off. I could have played it earlier as well in that scenario, but didn't know this would end up like this, so I'm happy it worked out. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he is just playing the Bucky here on turn 2, probably the best turn 2. Lorcana has seen and set 4 in combination with other cards. Definitely the turn 2 you want to have as green steel. He's thinking about what to discard to shift here. No, he's not. Okay, so yeah, that's the reason, obviously, my bad. Because if he would shift the Diablo here, he would need to exert the Diablo to get a draw, and since I have the hidden cove and he knows about my Diablo, it would be a nice trade. He has a cove as well, so he decides on just leaving the mini Diablo there and potentially shifting next turn with his own cove to challenge my Diablo. And that's a really hard turn right here, because I could do, let's take a look at the hand. I could do ink something, for example, the Kida, which is too far away to play anyway, so probably the best ink I can use. Shift the Diablo and play the Diablo. The problem is, if I do it like this, I am missing 1 ink to link the exerted Diablo to the cove, so I would give him the trade for free, which I definitely don't want to do, because that means his Diablo could potentially kill off my second one as well. So what I do is, just take a look here. I can skip this one. Is just playing my own Diablo, definitely shifting it, and getting a draw back from it while I do so. So I discard Sudden Chill. As I said, the Kida is a good ink. Play my Diablo, get 1 card back from it, and thinking that either he decides to use the cove, shift the Diablo, and kills both off, which means I can freely use the second Diablo in my hand and get the bird to stick. As I said, really important for my deck and for the matchup, and definitely too, because he is trying to discard my hand as well. Or he decides to, he's inking the Ursula. Yeah, actually, I've lost the I've lost the sentence. I was just saying I need to discard a card. I'm discarding Bare Necessities because it is not useful right now. I have noticed that my opponent has already lost a lot of, and unfortunately Bare Necessities is a card I just drew off the Diablo, because otherwise it would be so nice to play Bare Necessities, to discard his cove and actually bring my Diablo completely out of range, and be able to kill off his. So it's definitely a dance around the cove with both birds. and he uses a second ink to also link the Bucky there. He has the decision to kill off the Diablo, which means I got a draw for mine and he didn't, which would be better for me, so he definitely doesn't want to do that. He could go into the Cove with 3, so he has another attack for next turn for it to kill, but he ultimately decides to quest here, which I definitely understand as well. And now we are coming to probably my favorite play of the tournament. I recall Spetsy calling it for until this round the best play of the tournament he has seen as well. It's not like it's a hard play, but it's just a really cool thing that happened because I have Paint the Roses red, and that means, as I said earlier, I can bring his Diablo to 2 again, so my Diablo can just run over his. And that's what I am doing. Just Leo, I don't know. Maybe missed the trigger. Maybe I was too fast. I was too hectic. But he recognizes before he takes out his own bird and calls for a draw in this situation. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, take the card. Usually, if I don't see a bad intention behind something or it's not like completely off, I am letting it slide. So I used the 2 ink. Let me see. I think, oh yeah, that's his hand. Would be nice to see. Wait. Yeah, I can still play something. Yeah, I have 2 Ursulas, I think. I decide on a small little story. The one on the board right now has a little signature of my girlfriend as a kind of a lucky charm, and I obviously decide to ink the non-signed card and play the signed card to bring me luck. I luckily find the strength, so I can at least hinder him from shooting my Diablo. And it's Leo's turn again. He wants to get off his Diablo as well as fast as he can to at least, in his worst case, take off my Diablo and hinder me from drawing more cards, which he definitely doesn't want to happen. Because once the Emerald deck is getting to roll, I have a lot of opportunities and a lot of like an engine with Prince John and redraw and can do a lot of things. We also have removal with the Muses. He uses his Diablo. I have to discard a card. I decide on discarding Ursula. I don't know what was obviously Diablo was the other card, which I definitely want to keep here. And I'm feeling pretty good right now. And drew, because ultimately the plan was to play my Diablo, to link my Diablo to the Cove, but now I perfectly drew into You Have Forgotten Me, and I see that my opponent is on 2 hand cards. It's still a really hard decision, but in case I am playing the Diablo, he would just get rid of my... like this, I bring him into top deck mode. I think that's the most important part. He's on, I think, 4 ink, if I'm not mistaken. So this means he has a lot of bad draws. Either cards he just can't play because they're too expensive. For example, the Beast. He can draw like Robin Hood small, which would be really nice for me, which would buy me a whole turn. I can also decide to quest here, but I realized that 2 attacks with my Diablo in the Cove would kill his Cove, so I'm pretty confident that this is correct to attack the Cove. Also, I want to get rid of the Cove because Under the Sea and Muses are 2 cards that want the minions of my opponent as low as possible. So therefore, trying to get rid of the Cove ASAP. Unfortunately, Leo has a really nice top deck instead of having a bad one. He also executes it well. I don't know if everyone would have seen it, but he drew into the Zeus. Along came Zeus. Can then kill off my location, and because my Diablo has 2 damage points and not 3 health anymore because of the Cove is gone, my Diablo dies as well. Something I don't want to see here, because in best case scenario he would have needed to kill his own Diablo off with going into my Diablo. And yeah, also really bad for me that I now don't have the Cove anymore, because the Diablo in my hand now is very vulnerable to his Diablo. I draw. He draws with me, which already is really bad. I got him into top deck mode, but yeah, now he's back on drawing cards again. I can't see the hand here. Go a bit forward and take a look. So right now I'm behind. So if you're behind, you rather want to take risks instead of playing like safe, because sometimes you can't win against. Otherwise, I think that's a strategy I'm in this specific match will go into deeper with the next couple turns, because I will be my back will be against the wall even more than that later on, and I need to take some risks. I would love to see the hand here. Let me see if I can catch it. I know there's a Diablo in there. I do know there's a Bruno in there. I'm not sure what the third card is, so I think I have to wait here. My thought process is, on the one hand, I want my Diablo on board, and on the other hand, I definitely want his Diablo from the board, especially with the Cove, as I said a million times before. So I have a bit more breathing room with my own Diablo, and that's where I am heading at. Let me see. Oh yeah. I'm not sure if that's correct. I'm not sure if that's necessary. I think my thinking was, I want to put him into top deck mode again. Maybe he has drawn a good card. So, for example, a Song that would kill off my Diablo, a Floodborn that would empty my hand. So I'm making sure he's onto the luck of his own top decks again. Singing this with Ursula. I play my Diablo here. I could have definitely thought about just playing my Diablo and either inking the Sudden Chill and hoping to get the Bruno through, or keep both cards in hand and hopefully play the Bruno next turn, because that's definitely the plan right here, having my Diablo on board and his hopefully in the discard. Passing the turn, my Ursula unfortunately is vulnerable. He can kill off the Ursula. And yeah, Leo just had a really good top deck this time around with the Letter Storm Rage on. Right now I'm smiling, but in like 2 seconds, look at my face. Yeah, I'm really devastated, because my own Diablo, even though it wasn't even a good scenario I was in, was still the only thing that could have helped me in this specific situation. Now I'm onto top deck mode as well. Still, the plan is to play the Bruno next turn, but it already feels like it's maybe too late. He got a lot of value and card draw of his Diablo. I'm not sure what he drew here. He drew into Beast. If you, for example, turn the draws around and Beast would have been his draw before, maybe this would have been a bit differently, but not like heavily differently. I think I drew into Akida, and even though it's a good 5-drop, and I could go to 5 and play her as a 5-drop, I have to stick to my line, because leaving that green bird onto his board will definitely lose me the game in the long term, no matter what good 5-drops I have on the board. And that's why I am deciding on doing it like this. I kind of want to... Oh yeah, and then we roll the dice. It's actually the Beast. I'm not too mad, because it's a good card as well. I don't want to see on his board, but I would have loved to see the Diablo and then 2 rather bad cards in his hand. I then decide to pre-attack the Bucky with Ursula. Reasoning behind that is I I will forever, as long as the Ursula is on board, I will hinder him from exerting the Bucky to quest, and because Ursula would have killed him off, and that's why I did this specific attack. He draws. I have no cards in hand, so I'm not mad about. Yeah, and that's another. No, right now that's not a good top deck, and those were the cards I was hoping he would draw like 1, 2, 3 turns earlier. But at the end of the day, we are playing a game that is random. In these situations, he plays his Diablo again. Looks really bad for me, but I think I have a good draw here. I try to keep positive. This probably is like a 10 to 15% I only have left right now in this situation. So I luckily draw a card which can potentially give me a bit more percentages, or at least keep me in the game. I think I've hit, yeah, probably no other songs in here. I get a Bruno, and again, I obviously would fear a Flatborn, and so I discard the Bruno, but I realize I need to use the Bruno onto Diablo. I need to get rid of the green bird. I am behind, so I need to take the risk and hope he does not have a Flatborn. And right now, we as spectator know that. In that situation, I didn't know it. I think he has one hand card, so it's not that likely drawing a second card. It's not that high percent, like he has a Flatborn always. So I definitely keep the Bruno here. And we didn't see the draw, but I know, yeah, he got a Flatborn, really good. He also, in this combination with strength, gets the chance to kill off my Ariel. This wouldn't have been enough for a Under the Sea anyway, because I need 8 for that, and this on the board is only 7. But obviously losing that card is devastating in this situation. That's one positive thing at least, is on 0 hand cards again. The problem with that is he has 2 birds. Oh no, he has actually 1 card in hand. 2 green birds, which bring him up. Oh yeah, that's the card he drew right now, my bad. Yeah, sure. As I said, draw him up again to a good full hand. I draw a second Ariel, probably like still the best draw I could have had. And right now I am seeing the Under the Sea. And even though I'm still so far away from casting Under the Sea, I am realizing no matter what I'm taking here, except the Under the Sea, I don't think I have a chance to win the game. His Diablos, even though they already drew a lot of cards, are just too much of a force. And yeah, I go risky, need to take the risk. Oh, my opponent is dancing, really having a good time. Well, I'm like trying to keep every synapse in my head as positive as I can still. Yeah, having a little smile as well. And taking Under the Sea. He sees Under the Sea as well. So, yeah, in this situation, I'm definitely already, let's say realistic. He uses a boom, kill off my Ursula. I don't know, yeah, you can do that. Why not? Dimming my board even further. And yeah, I am thinking of draw combinations I could have to maybe come back. But as the 2 green birds are getting exerted, 2 more cards will enter the hand of Leo very soon. Draw a card, he draws 2. I think I have a good draw here. It's the Cricky. Pretty interesting. I think probably the only draw again that would keep me in the game, because with that I can on the one hand kill off the Cove, which means the Bucky dies. I'm really happy about that. I can hold on to my Under the Sea now pretty safely, at least I think. And also, the exerted Ariel is not in danger really of getting killed, because he does not want to trade 2 Diablos into the Ariel. And that means I have actually a board here which I can use to sing Under the Sea. And he right now has 2 attack minions. So suddenly, with 3 good draws in a row, a like 10% game goes up a bit higher. I can't really say how much higher, but right now I'm feeling confident again. I think my synapses are working on their own again. I don't need to keep them in check. I'm just exaggerating. But yeah, the spectators and casters already know what is about to happen. He has two ways of removing my precious Under the Sea, my precious win condition in this matchup. I am smiling. I am, throwing it into my discard. He gets 2 new cards again, so even though he is on 0 hand cards in his turn, he goes up to 2 again. Let me think about, I don't know what I can maybe draw here. Maybe like an Ariel, get another Under the Sea in my hand. Hope he has no discard in hand again, and then draw a Kida to then kill the whole board. That would be maybe something that's still possible, but I already drew 2 Ariels, I already found 1 Under the Sea, so pretty unlikely. And yeah, my draw was not good. It was a sudden chill, which I don't even want to use, because he has unlimited hand cards either way right now, so discarding 1 doesn't give me anything, so I rather just ink the card for potential card combinations. He takes out my Quickie. That's it's also really bad. He makes sure to take out everything he can, so I can't use my cards to maybe come back into the game. And I think we can at this point go a bit faster through here. I only draw a his. He has a lot of cards in hand, and I think he actually plays every card he has. He goes up to, we will see, to 18, and there is literally no draw I can have. I'm taking my time still. I'm not scooping. I said, yeah, Mom, I'm on TV. I want to be on TV a few seconds more. And smiling, realizing I've lost, flipping the card, giving the hand, and that's the qualification also for Leo. Congratulating him, obviously, in that scenario, because 5 wins with no losses before means you can just draw your way into day 2. I unfortunately don't know how Leo placed in the end. I have to check that. I hope it went relatively well on day 2 for him. As I said, really nice guy. Greetings. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope this was interesting enough for you to say it was a nice watch. Please let me know in the comments what you thought about that. Also, I want to keep uploading. Yeah, I also want to do more videos. This is really fun. I love to talk about the game. I love Lorcana. I love theory crafting. I love competing. I love getting better. So why not getting better together? So if you have an idea how I can support you with that, or how what you want to see from me, shoot me a comment. I would love to see it. Also, if you like the video, please like the video. This would help me greatly. Subscribe to the channel, because as I said, I want to keep this channel way more active than it was before. Probably even doing a little rebranding. It's still on the 4th Musketeer. I will just go to Bennett Lorcana, I think. And yeah, if you don't already, follow me on Twitter too. I'm very active on there. Let's have a conversation there as well. It's Bennett_Lorcana. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. See you next challenge. Bye bye.